Hey everyone, this is Blackhawk SC, and in this video I'll be taking a look at the Gauss ERPPC Kodiak 3. This build has two Gauss rifles, and we use two MGs with no ammo to get the Gauss mounted in the upper ballistic hardpoint of each side torso. We have 50 rounds of Gauss ammo in this build, which you can increase to 60 if you prefer, by removing a DHS or lowering the engine. Finally, there's the two ERPPCs on the arm. I've seen people put ERPPCs on the separate arms, but don't do that, because it hurts convergence and forces you to expose the entire mech to get the alpha out. This build has been popular and competitive since the Kodiak's introduction in May 2016, and perhaps starting in October of this year, it has been a lot more common in the public queue as well. I didn't do a video on this build earlier because for the good part of 2016, the Daka build was significantly better in the public queue. Currently, after a series of nerfs that affected the clan UX, these two builds have gotten pretty close in effectiveness, with the Daka build being better at mid-range and the Gauss ERPPC build better at long ranges. I still think the UAC 10 and 5 build is stronger in the 12v12 public queue because most matches tend to get to mid-range at some point. At this range, the UAC DPS is far greater than what you can get with the Gauss ERPPC combo, and you can get that damage out without having to expose most of your torso. However, if you do get a ranged map, especially a cold ranged map like Grim Portico, Frozen City, or Polar Highlands, this build can kick some serious ass. There are very few downsides to this mech, and I think there are just two main problems worth mentioning. First is that the Gauss ERPPC velocities desync at range, which is a problem faced by not just this mech, but every clan Gauss ERPPC build without an ERPPC velocity quirk. This means that for ranged shots at moving targets, you'll have to fire the Gauss and ERPPC separately. I'll show a clip here of how you can take these shots at a moving target. So here, even though the Nova isn't quite that far off, we have to take our shots separately because it's moving pretty quickly. The second problem is that it's vulnerable to a light mech shooting out the Gauss on the right torso from the back, which leaves you with just a single Gauss rifle for the rest of the match. In a competitive environment, this doesn't happen often, but in the public queue, you don't have teammates who are always watching your back. I've actually done this multiple times to enemy pilots who run this build, which is pretty fun in a trolly kind of way. You're especially vulnerable to this sort of sneak attack if you're positioned far back behind your team. So even though you might be more effective at range, you still need to move with the team if they decide to rotate or push forward. I think an interesting thing is, whenever you pilot this mech, a lot of people pretty much expect you to carry the team. So if you're a player who doesn't like to be given this kind of virtual responsibility, there are definitely other mechs that are more anonymous, let's just say. But my suggestion is don't let that bother you and just have fun with it. As for modules, I prefer Gauss cooldown and ERPPC range in addition to advanced seismic and radar deprivation. But the ERPPC cooldown is also a good option. Alright, let's go carry some teams with this thing. In this match we're on Grim Portico, which is one of the most ideal maps for a build like this. Because it's cold, it has range, typically a lot of trading goes on at the beginning of the match between the two teams on different hills. But we do get some initial range shots down to the enemy position, but our team actually gets pretty aggressive and pushes their hill. So as I mentioned before, it's best to not get left behind on your own and kind of move with your team.
New target acquired.
Now, ideally, we would stay over at the hill because we can pretty much 1v1 anything at that range, around 800 to 900 meters. But we do have to move with the team and support, because if we stayed over there, we'd have no shots on anything over at this hill. So we gotta come here and provide some support.
New target acquired.
UAV above us.
I think there's a bunch over there, bunch of mechs behind the rocks, so drop a strike. We do get several hits.
New target acquired.
That's another case of separating the Gauss and ERPPC shots, as I mentioned. Even though the Hunchback wasn't moving too fast, he was far away enough that I wanted to separate those two different weapons. I'm just kind of wasting time with that Shadow Cat there. It's just moving way too fast, and it has too many
New
movement
target
options, up and
acquired.
down, vertically, and left and right, for
New
me to
target
like place good
acquired.
shots in that distance. So,
New target acquired.
but that Shadow Cat actually made a mistake of standing still
New target
for that
acquired.
shot. I thought that was a Hellbringer, actually
Warning, incoming
from the
missile.
silhouette. It looked like an ECM
New
Hellbringer.
target acquired.
So
Warning,
that
incoming
was kind of a
missile.
silly shot,
New
but
target acquired.
yeah.
Target destroyed.
I was thinking like,
New
am
target
I shooting at a
acquired.
dead mech there? And yeah, it turned out to be.
New target acquired.
So these timeouts are really helpful in these situations. Just poke over the hill just a little bit, and
New
then you can get
target acquired.
pretty good, uh, pretty good shots
New target
without
acquired.
exposing too much of your mech.
New target acquired. Warning, incoming
Oh,
missile.
that Shadow Cat is
Target
annoying.
destroyed. New target acquired.
So I believe that's a
Heat level
Hunchback.
critical.
Yeah, it's a Hunchback
Target
Gridiron.
acquired.
I verified at the end. I was
Heat
shooting at
level
the
critical.
right torso, and probably was a Gauss explosion on an XL engine.
Target acquired. Target
So
acquired.
the recording kind of glitched out here. It kind of froze for a little bit, and so I had to
Heat level
cut
critical.
towards this
Target acquired.
scene. So we're down 4-8.
Center torso
Time to pick it
critical
up
damage.
and get one more kill.
Left torso critical damage. Gauss ammo at 25%.
Time to put on the
Target
carry hat.
acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target acquired. Target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. Warning, incoming missile. Target destroyed. Target acquired. New target acquired. Warning.
Oh, and the game ends for me. But the guy who killed me also gets killed
Target destroyed.
immediately. And we skip to the end of the match, and man, we win. Yay! Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed watching the match, and a shout out to Kesha from Morale for being a longtime viewer and for being a good sport in that game. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.